you all on a heart-to-heart show with Mr. Sujit Chaudhary and
Chakraborty.
Sujit Chakraborty, who was a specialist on Sikkim. Let me also wish him, on behalf of the family, a very happy birthday on
Thank
23rd
you so
June.
much.
Yeah? So, to begin the show, we would like to give you a brief introduction about Mr. Sujit Chakraborty, who is he is currently founding editor of Knowledge Group, which researches on Sikkimese history and culture. His own specialization is on Vajrayana or Tantric Buddhism, and he started his studies from 2000 in Sikkim, when he was the owner, some editor of Weekend Review, a powerful newspaper. He has worked with various newspapers and magazines, and he was the first editorial consultant for Bhutan Times.
That's right.
He is a trained singer and also loves traveling and cooking. He is the author of three books, one of them on Buddhism, and his fourth book has just been signed up by a top publisher. So we would like to know more about Mr. Sujit Chakrabarti, about his childhood, about his education. So I hand over the reins to Mr. Sujit Chakrabarti, please. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting the members of the Zena family on YouTube and elsewhere. Well, as you said, you have been very gracious in outlining my small life career, and that's it. I have been a journalist, but most of my life I've been basically a writer. And my fundamental research has been on Sikkimese Buddhism, Tantrayana Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, and the history of Sikkim and culture of Sikkim. So that's basically it. Now it's up to you now. Tell me.
No, I would like to ask you about your life, your childhood, and what got you into this. After your schooling and after your college, what made you get into Sikkim? Because Sikkim is a beautiful state, no doubt, but not many people hear about this. Sikkim was once an independent state, not a country, I would say, but it's a country which is, the landlocked country between India and China, and now it's become part of the Indian Union, of course. But why Sikkim?
Why Sikkim is very simple. It's actually, let's put it this way, all journalists are basically hunter-gatherers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, जहाँ जो मिला वो करने लगे.
Mm-hmm.
So I was, after my graduation, I was actually determined to become a historian, which I couldn't because of university politics and all that. But eventually I joined journalism, which I think is the first rough draft of history. What I am writing today
Mm-hmm.
becomes material for historical research 20 years from now. So that was one of the main things that I had. And eventually doing jobs here and there, I happened to absolutely by chance, I happened to get a project on tourism in Sikkim. And once I went there, I was absolutely mesmerized by the place. And the people were so gentle, so sophisticated, always smiling, always very well behaved, and they were steeped into culture and their religion. Their religion means their religion also includes Buddhism or the Newar, Hindu of the Newars, Buddhism of the Tamangs, and the various other communities. And then the lepchas of Sikkim have their own religion, which is called the religion of the lepchas, which is basically run by the bunthings or the priests, shamans who are becoming fewer and fewer nowadays. And when I went there and I started seeing the beauty of the place and the spiritual essence of the place, I started researching. So that's how it began. That if you ask me why Sikkim, the essential reason was that as a hunter gatherer, I had landed up there, and then I got absolutely mesmerized by the beauty of the nature, the beauty of the spiritualism of Sikkim. And then I stayed on for 6 years. Eventually, I bought up a newspaper over there, or Weekend Review. And from there, I started my research on which attracted me the most. I have a Hindu background, but the Buddhism was a very new thing for me. So I started researching on that. So that's basically it. Why Sikkim and why this?
Mhm. No, tell me something. I mean, this is one factor. But how many years did you spend in Sikkim, and what? Because it's again to print a paper there, you need a printing press. How were you printing it?
Um, well,
Were you sending it to Calcutta? Were you sending it to Siliguri?
no. What happened was that the newspaper actually existed before I went there, but the editor had left, and it was more or less rudderless at that point in time.
Mm.
So the publisher invited me to join as the editor, and I joined. The printing press, there was hardly any good printing press at that time in Gangtok.
Mhm.
So what we did was that we had a existing relationship with a press in Siliguri. It was owned by Rajesh Chaudhary. So every Wednesday we used to ready the paper. Thursday it used to go to print. Thursday late night, Friday morning it used to come back to Gangtok and get distributed all over the state. So that is basically the logistics.
Because the state couldn't have been very populated. And
Now the state was at that point in time 6.5 lakhs.
in which year?
This was 2000.
Okay, then I mean 6.5 lakhs is okay, but how many? What was the readership?
The readership you cannot calculate like that. If you see there are two things. One is the circulation, the other is the readership. My circulation was 6,000, which was actually huge by Sikkim standards,
Mhm.
but the readership that I have is, as I was telling you the other day, that a normal newspaper has 1:4 readership. That means one person buys and overall 4 people read.
Mhm.
But my paper used to go to the distant villages and where very few people knew English. And it was such a trusted newspaper that on Sunday morning, after breakfast, all the village people used to gather. So, and somebody who knew English would kind of read the news and tell them what was. So, my readership was at that point in time 1:11, 1:12. So, you could say that's about close to a lakh or something.
But this was English. Did you
Yeah.
ever intend to dabble in Nepali or some other local Sikkimese language?
No, I understand Nepali. I speak and write in Nepali also.
Uh-huh.
But well, it is
Nepali, maybe the Nepali circulation could have been more. You could have. You see, the way
no,
Sikkim.
definitely it was. But there was so the point was that at that point in time, Sikkim needed a very independent newspaper. Independent in the sense that uh, most of Sikkimese newspapers they survived on government advertisements. So to some extent, the government used to control. The founder of my newspaper was late PG Tenzing, who was an IAS officer, so he was not named as the publisher. But his idea was it should be an independent newspaper,
Mhm.
and independent in the sense that we do not depend on the government for sustenance. गवर्नमेंट जो एड देता है वो हमको भी चाहिए, लेकिन वो नहीं होने से हम मर जाएंगे ऐसा नहीं है. So
Mhm.
we established a clear private advertisers network, and we established a solid marketing team which went around from business to business here in Calcutta, in Siliguri, and got us ads. So we were never dependent. That kind of thing was not possible in the Nepali language at that time.
Mhm. Yes. But besides Nepali and English,
Hmm.
what other language do they speak?
Do I speak?
No, no, in Sikkim.
In Sikkim, Bhutia,
Ah,
Lepcha,
ah,
Tamang,
I
they
don't.
Nepali.
Uh-huh.
Nepali is the majority, of course.
Ah.
The Newars and the other Nepali communities.
The Nevas are the
Nepali is the lingua franca of
Sikkim.
Sikkim. Everybody understands Nepali.
Yeah.
Everybody speaks in Nepali, and there is no ill feeling that why should I speak in. जो अभी हिंदुस्तान में हो रहा है, बंगाल में रहो तो बंगला बोलना पड़ेगा, ये सब कुछ नहीं था।
हाँ हाँ हाँ
हाँ, वो सब कुछ नहीं था।
हाँ
So it was a very egalitarian, even now it's largely egalitarian society.
हाँ हाँ
And everything is respected, tolerated, and followed by everybody. And it's not like I'll just give you one example. If a Nepali child is born in a Nepali Hindu family,
हाँ हाँ
they will obviously bring the Hindu priests and do the puja,
yeah.
but they will also go to the monastery. This is something which people do not understand about Sikkim. You know,
That depends on whether they are Tamang or they are
Tamangs are Buddhists,
Tamang Buddhist.
Tamang Gurungs are Buddhists.
Some Shresthas are also Buddhist
Yes,
Shresthas, and
some lecturers are also Buddhist, but
Gurungs are also Buddhist.
Gurungs are lot of Gurungs. Sherpas are Buddhists.
Lepchas.
Lectures are there are it's a trifurcated society. It's they some a lot of people follow the shamanism, and that is a very rich culture. I mean, when you say shamanism, people think, "Arey wo bhoot pret wala jhankri wala mamla hoga."
नहीं
wo."
नहीं
It's not like that. It's
थोड़ा
a very sophisticated.
please explain something about shamanism.
It's very sophisticated, but a lot of the lectures converted to Christianity.
Yeah, because
And that's one. Then some of them became Buddhists, and the rest of them remained within their this thing. And one thing I must say about this shamanism, that shamanism is the repository of a huge volume of traditional medicinal knowledge, which means that Sikkim was declared as a biodiversity hotspot in 1850
yes,
when John Dalton came here, and he saw that the flora and fauna is so rich. There are about 800 medicinal plants and herbs in Sikkim, which are their values are known, their treatment, the curative powers are known to the shamans, but not being explored in terms of the principal agent and the actual scientific database that has not been done so far, which can be done, which is very open field.
is it still under wraps because they don't want to come
No, there's nothing called RAPs.
wraps in the sense that it's closed. It's a closed society. Like you have the bamboo curtain, because once they open themselves to commercialism, then they'll lose their value.
No, that is not that what happened was, you must understand that the Sikkim became an independent kingdom in 1642
Okay.
when the Dalai Lama sent his emissaries to found the Namgyal dynasty. Now, the Namgyal dynasty was brought up in the wisdom of Buddhism, and later point in time, the Namgyal Chogyal means the Dharma Raja, the kings of Sikkim, they created a lepcha reserve in North Sikkim, where even normal Sikkimese living in Gangtok or Mangan or Singtam or wherever, even they have to take pass to go in.
Okay.
The kings wanted to create a reserve where the pure knowledge is kept, and the hygiene and the health resources of those people were so poor that they had to be protected against outside influence, like the kind of diseases that we carry over there.
You mean to say the immunity was bad?
Yes.
The immunity because of the climatic conditions.
Climatic conditions plus their entire cultural context in which the lepchas came into the mainstream. The lepchas are a community which is about, we know that up to 5000 BC, anthropological records show that the lepcha community was there in Sikkim before 5000 BC also.
But the lepchas are direct descendants of the Tibetans, because you said that the Chogyal was appointed by the Dalai Lama. And that means Sikkim was a vassal state or a state of Tibet.
Sikkim was not a vassal state. You could say that it was kept as the southern territory of under the command of the Tibetan Dalai Lama, but to that extent it was there. But otherwise, every decision of the Sikkimese government was taken by the monarch, by the ministry, by his ministry and things.
Mhm.
So Tibetan, as you're talking about the origins of the Tibetan language, lecture language and all, yes, there is a study going on in which I am also a part. It is being done by Mr. P.T. Gyamso, a very senior scholar, and who was a Rajya Sabha member from Sikkim.
Mhm.
And he is pointing out that there is a lot of similarities between the root words of lecture language and the root words of Tibetan. You
Yes.
know, he's doing that study.
And the script is also the same.
Yes, yes.
But tell me something, why did the Chogyal vanish? Why did he relinquish his power to the
No, the
government of India?
Chogyal did not relinquish his power. It's a slightly complex history. What happened was that the Chogyal wanted to establish a parity between the main three communities. And there's a statue of the Chogyal which points out, he's standing there and pointing out his three fingers like this. And that that is called the Lo Men Sum Sum.
Mhm.
Lo, Bhutia, Men, Bhutia,
Nepal.
Lepcha, and Som.
Hmm.
Song, the Limbu community,
Okay.
these three must always be united.
Mhm.
The entire polity of Sikkim was based on this principle. Now, that having said, what happened was that the British got into the whole thing and messed it up, completely messed it up for their own interests. They wanted to find a route to Tibet, and they found that Sikkim is the easiest way because Nepal was giving them a tough time.
Mhm.
So they tried to dominate the Sikkimese people. So they, invited a lot of people from outside
Mhm.
and who were brought in, and a kind of division they created, the British
Mhm.
created. So it was this division that the government of India,
Mhm.
under Indira Gandhi, took advantage of. And there was a time when Nehru had told Indira Gandhi that trying to capture Sikkim with arms would amount to firing a cannonball at a mosquito.
Okay.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it. But she did it.
But tell me something. Besides this, he fired the cannonball. Why was there a Diwan of Sikkim? Who
Why was that?
appointed the Diwan of Sikkim? There was a Diwan of Sikkim.
That was the Diwan was appointed by the British. It's not.
But
Yeah.
I think he was there quite many years during the. I think he was an ICS officer.
Yes, he was an ICS
And
officer.
last officer was John Lal. Last Diwan,
Mr.
John
Lal,
Lal.
he was actually the senior most Diwan, but he was actually an engineer. After whom this Lal Market in Gangtok, the old Lal
Okay,
Market,
Yes, Lal Bagh. Yes,
that has been named after him.
Lal Bagh. Yes. But he was a decent bloke, very nice man.
Oh, yeah, he was.
And
See, when we talk about history, I mean, my daughter also asks me sometimes, was Aurangzeb bad? Was Rajiv Gandhi good? Was Indira Gandhi bad? Was Rahul Gandhi good? In history, historical analysis doesn't pan out like that. I mean, Mr. Lal obviously had a lot of contribution to make.
yeah,
But yeah, he had. But he had to follow the dictate of the law and the IB. So he did that. There was no way he could, as an Indian
what
citizen.
what role did Hope Cook play in the Chogyal's life?
Chogyal's life, Hope Cook
Hope Cook.
was Hope Cook. Yes,
Hope Cook was an American agent,
she
or
was an American beauty and a socialite and an artist.
uh,
She was highly talented.
mhm.
And even now, people look upon her as, Gyalmo. Gyalmo means the
Yeah,
queen.
she was the second or third wife of the
No, I
Chogyal.
don't think so. I don't think so. But whatever it is that she had a very, very salubrious influence on the Chogyal's life. But this is a question that remains to be studied and investigated by historians. Why did she leave? She And I would not really blame Hope Cook, because you see, 75, India annexed Sikkim. And I'm clearly saying this, India annexed Sikkim by force. And then what happened was that Hopuk still put up 5 years. If you say that because Raja का राज चला गया इसलिए उसकी wife उसको छोड़ के चली गई, this is a common stupid kind of analysis. It is
yeah.
not that. They had their internal problems also, which is
Yeah, there was
nice
because
to talk about.
see, there were so many things.
Hmm.
She being a socialite, she being from a different culture, and this man from being from a very closed society where they have practiced shamanism or they practiced so many things. I mean, certain part of his family might have adapted themselves to the American culture,
Hmm.
or but in totality, there was opposition against opposition about Hope Cook being there. Hmm? So it was a two-way thing. But the other thing is that she was investigated by RAW or whosoever it was,
Hmm.
and whether it was the truth or falsehood, but they did find that she had vested interest larger than life about this place. And maybe the Chogyal was a weak person. He might have handed over the whole matter to her and to the medics,
No, it's
who probably wanted a base in Tibet, in Sikkim to control Tibet and control China.
no. I do not know the. I do not have the inside papers of the law. At one time I used to, but
That was that.
no, no, that's fine. But see, you have to understand one thing that the Western influence on the Chogyal system started with 1.5 generations before the last Chogyal. Last Chogyal in the sense, Palin Wangchuk. Before that, there was somebody called Sitkyong Tulku. Sitkyong Tulku was an extremely polished prince, and he was taken up by one of the British commissioners for training in the West. The British wanted to train him. They pampered him. They took him to all the kingdoms and made him, enter all the palaces, and they spread the enchantment of Sikkim and that Sitkwang Tulku. But the thing is, the Chogyals were never weak.
Okay.
This is a misconception. The Chogyals were never weak. There is a paper of I am not too sure of the veracity, but it has been signed by the current Chogyal. I have that paper with me, which suggests that Sitkwang Tulku could have been assassinated because he was very tough on economic and social reforms. You cannot tally the way that Sitkwang Tulku died. They say that he got so drunk that he couldn't get up from the sleep when his room caught fire. That is impossible. That is impossible.
No, that is because it was not in the interest of the Marwadis, local Marwadis there.
No, the Marwadis were. I'm sorry, the Marwadis were also very much pro-Chogyal. I'll tell you about Mr. Lakhotia.
Because their local businesses flourish under his domain.
No, but no, it is the Chogyal who invited two kinds of people to Sikkim so that the economy of this. Look at the far-sightedness of the Chogyal, all Chogyals. That they invited the Modis. Modi means the Marwadis, and they invited the Biharis.
Yes.
And together he categorically told them that you take charge of the economy.
Yes, he was a wild man because he knew that the Biharis would be working themselves to death in an area, inhospitable area, because his people would either drink Sampa and go to sleep. They could not bear to
drink in the sense that Sampa is the food.
the food or whatever.
They used to have chang.
Chang, and besides that, there's something, that beer.
Yeah, rice, millet beer. No, but then the thing is that when I'll give you two examples. One, when this last Chogyal was under fire, and there was a whole lot of conspiracy going on. including all the people who have come in as chief ministers after him, and excepting Narwadur Bhandari.
Mhm.
And there, I'll just name you two people. Babulal Malu. Babulal Malu is a friend of mine. His father, Birdhi Chand Malu, and they came to Sikkim carrying salt on their shoulders, walking
Yes,
from there to Mangan, right?
yes, yes.
And
Yes.
and Birdhi Chand Malu was so trusted by the Chogyal that
Mhm.
the Chogyal actually left his entire northern estates of cardamom plantation into Birdhi Chand Malu's hands. Birdhi Chand Malu's son went and founded the digital camera business out in Gangtok, and they are a
Mhm.
wonderful family. I've met them many times, and it was Birdhi Chand Malu who was terrorized by the people who are fed money by the raw, cash money by the raw,
Mhm.
which includes Khatiwada, NB Khatiwada, and it includes this thing, LD Kazi, who was the
Mhm.
first chief minister.
Okay, Kazi has.
So Kaji was there,
He,
and
he's a Dorji or he Kazi?
he's LD Kazi. He's a lecturer,
Okay.
and then again Motilal Lakhotia, who owned Tibet Hotel, and he was also a strong supporter. So the Marwadis were all through very strong supporters, and the Biharis were very strong supporters. They were so grateful for and this one day Motilal Lakhotia went to the Chogyal, and he said that he told the king that your palace has become dilapidated. I shall repair it for you. And the Chogyal said, you repair the economy of the country,
Uh-huh.
and the people of the country will repair my palace.
Okay.
That is the kind of relationship they used to have. And that's
Uh-huh.
the kind of wisdom that
Okay.
in 1860s, the first bank was founded by a Marwari family.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think that was in Mangal.
Yes,
It
yes.
was founded by a Marwari family, and all encouragement given by which later became the State Bank of Sikkim.
Okay,
You
okay,
know?
okay. So
Yeah.
this is what happened. Now Lakotias and Babulas, but now still the Nepalese still rule the roost.
They are the majority community.
Mm. So they are Lepchas, they are Hindus, they are Bhotias, they are what?
Bhotias.
No, no, the Nepalese, the Nepalese. And what?
Nepalese are largely Hindus, but segments of them who are, as a generic term, they call them Nepali. I mean, for instance, in a rough manner of speaking, Tamang, Gurung, everybody would be called a Nepali.
Yeah, but now the thing is,
Tamang Gurus, they are Buddhists.
yeah, what control does the Chogyal have over them? Because it's now the politicians, the chief ministers are all right wingers, I would say, and they control the economy, they control everything, and I think there's only one party in Sikkim, no other party,
That's always been the case.
uh, and is that sponsored by the Chogyal or the
No. Narwadur Bhandari, he got 31 or 32 out of 32. Chamling got 32 out of 32.
mhm,
Last was this Mr. Gole, who didn't have that kind of majority in his first tenure, but now he's got 31 out of 32. So this, that way, it's a very poor, very weak democracy in function, you know. So
democracy
now,
cannot
now
function
there are
that way.
multiple parties. Now there are
Uh,
multiple parties, you know.
uh,
I hear there's the CAP, then the SKM, Sikkim Krantikari
uh,
Morcha, and then SDF was always there, and some other parties are also there. Now let us see how it develops, because we're just 50 years into democracy. If you are asking about how did the Chogyal have control over the Nepali community, the Nepali community were, as such, were never against the Chogyal. You must understand that the populace of Sikkim,
mhm.
irrespective of their community status, of their status in terms of majority or minority, they loved the Chogyal. The Chogyal did not need to control them. They control themselves, which is a very weird thing to understand that
And
we
what
we
about
we have
police and I mean, other law agencies? How much of the army is there? It's only
Army,
based in Nathula.
army, Nathula is army because it's China border, it's the international border, it has to be under army. But the army is there in various places in Sikkim. And I think that the army has done a lot of psychological damage to the Sikkimese people, especially in Gurudongmar, where they built a Gurudwara illegally. And just because the Punjab regiment was positioned there, they did so. And so, but apart from that, also there's the beneficial part. I mean, the Border Roads Organization, had the Border Roads Organization not been there, nobody would have survived in Sikkim. The way they maintain the roads at all costs, these are treacherous terrains. Treacherous terrains where they
I know. Yes,
day in,
yes,
you have been there, you know it.
yes, yes.
Day in and day out, they are on the job, on the job. So the army has
Irrespective
its
of the
good
weather,
part and the bad.
irrespective of the weather.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Uh,
There's no point. There's no question.
and the army is given, full respect and all the facilities, while the BRO is not.
Yeah,
I
there
don't.
is that officially there is, but at the moment there is a slight bitterness about this Gurudongma temple, Gurudongma
Uh,
Gurudwara that they built over there, which is
uh, uh.
illegal. So
What?
the Gurudongma,
I,
Gurudongma Lake is a lake in 17,800 feet.
yes, yes.
It's a very
What have they built
strange lake in the
there?
sense that even at the harshest point of winter, one corner, a large corner of the temple of the lake never freezes. So it
Okay,
is even in December, January, February, March, it never freezes. That is the spot from where the locals collect water. That lake
okay,
is supposed to have been blessed by Guru Padmasambhava.
okay.
And the Punjab regiment built a Gurudwara over there, and they have started saying that this is a lake blessed by Guru Nanak. इस पे जो dispute है, there is a slight kind of ill feeling between the army and the local people, and that ill feeling is pretty much bad.
So not Guru Gobind Singh, Guru Nanak. Yes, Guru Nanak did go to all
Guru Nanak,
places.
no,
There's a,
Guru Nanak went places.
uh,
Guru Nanak, I know, for instance, Guru Nanak actually visited all the places where Guru Padmasambhava had been, or almost all the places. And
uh-huh.
for instance, in Ladakh,
Hmm.
Guru Nanak is called Nanak
Patna
Lama.
Sahib.
Nanak Lama.
Hmm.
So
Yes,
he is equated by Buddhists, and he's loved by the. There's no question about Guru Nanak being dishonored. It's the question of
uh,
army controlling certain things which they are not supposed to control.
he was an ascetic, and he went through great privatation for
Hmm.
spreading, not only spreading, but
Hmm.
for understanding people and for
Hmm.
giving them the right feelings and sermons about life.
Hmm.
That is something absolutely necessary. Now, tell me something more about lepchas, the difference between lepchas, chogyals, the gurungs. I mean, the majority of the population is lepchas, and have the chogyals got extinct like the Denzongpas? Danny Denzongpa is from Sikkim, very
Yes.
popular actor, huh? But 70 now, 70 plus. So he's there. Then there's
See, then these terms are very confusing. Denzongpa.
mhm,
Denzongpa means it is not a caste. It is not a religion. It is
mhm,
Denzong is the generic name for Bhutia language
mhm,
term for Sikkim. Bayul
mhm,
Demasrong is the name of the original Sikkim that was the Bhutia concept. The lecture concept was Mayal Liang, you know,
Mayolyang.
Mayal Liang, and both basically mean the same thing:
Uh-huh.
sacred hidden land. Now,
Okay.
Bayul Demasrong means a little more detailed. Mayal Liang means a little more detailed, but a little different. But basically, it is the sacred hidden land of treasures. Okay.
Okay.
So Denzongpa is anybody who lives in Denzong.
How far?
Pa basically means a person.
Uh-huh.
So I can be Sujit Denzongpa.
Okay.
That would mean that I stay in Denzong.
Mhm.
So there are lots of I would say cross currents of understanding the ethnicity of various communities, etc., etc.
Mhm.
But what, if you do not mind, should I say something?
Yeah, see?
Yeah, one thing which I think the world at large through Zena family ought to know is that I have noticed a sudden explosion. I mean, you can't imagine my shock. I've been there in Sikkim since 2000. I've been there continuously till 2006. I've been going every year. I go twice or thrice.
Uh,
But of between 2022 and 24, there has been a massive explosion of fantastic Sikkimese writers in English.
Yes, yes.
And the point is that these writers
Mhm.
are not writers who write any kind of thing. All their
Mhm.
stories.
Mhm.
When you take, I'll tell you the short stories written by Parshu Dahal. Parshu Dahal is a police officer, and he's written short stories which are based in the Sikkimese villages. And then you have, oh yes, this is remarkable.
Mhm.
So then again, there is Pankaj Giri. Pankaj Giri is his characters, his location, his locale, his environment is Gangtok or urban Sikkim.
Mhm.
But the essence is that of Sikkimese culture, Sikkimese orientation, Sikkimese atmosphere, Sikkimese food, etc., etc. So
Mhm.
this thing has come in. Now suddenly we see somebody called uh, forget her name, Karma Doma. Karma Doma just burst out from nowhere
This a
and
lady or a gent?
poet. She's a poet.
She's a
And
poet. Okay.
yeah, Young Chen Lamu, Karma Doma, and you
Uh,
have then Trinity Rai. Trinity
uh,
Rai is a short story writer. None of her short stories are more than 1100, 1200 words. They're shocking short stories.
okay.
So we are seeing a literary kind of burst out now,
Uh-huh.
kind of a nebula burst. Okay.
Okay.
So
Uh-huh.
which is a very remarkable thing. And I would like people from across the world to kind of
Uh-huh.
come and interact with the Sikkimese writers and literatures.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's great.
Mhm.
So the thing is that what is the gender? I mean, how many ladies and how many gents are there in this,
Oh,
in the writers setup? And who are the better people? The ladies or the gents?
see, ladies would include Yumita Rai,
Uh-huh.
Trinity Rai, Yangchen
Again,
Lamu.
the rise of the Tahals and the Giris, they're all Nepalese.
Yeah, they are all like this.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, then you have Karma Doma,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a girl who was somehow I don't know I cannot see her nowadays, Ishe Doma. And then in literature, there is Ashim Pasnet, Jivan Rai, Pankaj Giri, and Pankaj Giri. Then you have Parshu Dahal, then Kishan Dahal, and people like that. So it's more or less an equal mix.
Okay, that's nice. But tell me, what is this condition of education? School, colleges, universities, what is it like there? What are the schools like? Darjeeling has a lot of schools.
Darjeeling has a lot of schools. Here we have a very good school,
Mhm.
the Holy Cross School. The government schools were very inefficient at one point in time, over 20 years ago, but they are picking up. And we have an international school there. I cannot recollect the full name.
Uh-huh.
It's an international school run by a Buddhist trust.
Mhm.
And and the colleges are pretty good. I mean, Narbahadur Bhandari Government College,
Mhm.
it cannot be said to be, I mean, it produces a lot of PhDs. So you cannot say it's a backyard kind of a college.
I'm going to ask you a personal question. Would you recommend your child to be studying in Sikkim, in the college?
If you ask my recommendation, definitely yes. Definitely yes.
You think the standard is better than Delhi and Calcutta and
No, it's not. It is not. You see, the academic calling of a child
mhm.
is essentially that comes from the family.
Okay.
My child is in Delhi. She is studying in a fairly good school,
Uh-huh.
and but if I know from her friends and others that if the parents don't take care of the child,
No.
so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you go to a small school, say Holy Cross or any other school in Gangtok.
Uh-huh.
But if I don't take care of my child, my wife doesn't take care of my child, nothing is going to change. But what they will gain is not the curriculum. What they will gain is the essential peacefulness of character.
And
That is a
confidence.
fantastic thing.
And confidence. The
Yes,
mother
yes,
generated confidence
yes,
on
yes.
through which they can take on the world. Are you there?
Mm.
Hello, Sujit.
Yes,
Uh, that
yes,
is
I'm there.
so. That is
Mm.
so. That is the advantage because people, families in Bengal and other places, you spend an arm and a leg, huh?
Mm.
Uh, trying to get their children educated into St. Paul's, North Point, and Kalimpong. I mean, there's a girls' school in Kurseong, St. Helens, and Gotholz. Huh? If you
Yes,
remember these names, huh?
yes, of course.
Yeah. So I think these are gradually fading away. They are there. The schools are there. Of course, the fees has gone up. But,
But interestingly, in Kalimpong, for instance, another school which is, by the name of it, I forget the name. By the name of it, anybody could dismiss it as a Desi school and
mm,
look down upon it. But
mm,
they have prepared an international bagpiper band which
mm.
won accolades in England.
Oh my God.
Yes. So these small changes are taking place underneath. We cannot see them. The subterranean changes that are happening in this entire region,
Uh-huh.
particularly in Sikkim, particularly, I am again saying I'm amazed by the burst of literary creativity that I've just seen over the last
Mhm,
4 or 5 months or so. And I've interviewed all these people and I'm writing about them.
mhm.
So if literatures from other places, other states, and other countries can take an interest, they will find a very rich field to work on.
Ask you, Jay, that these poets, the poetess, she writes about Sikkim or does she write about Western poetry?
See, poetry does not happen in a localized environment. If you ask Pablo Neruda, he's a this thing,
Mm-hmm.
Latin American poet.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo Neruda's poem did not speak about his country,
Mm-hmm.
but it exuded the essence of that culture. So Karma's and Yangchen's poems
Yeah.
exuding the character, the culture, the small things like certain aroma they'll mention,
Uh-huh.
certain kind of night sky they'll mention,
Uh-huh.
the vision of the Kanchenjunga they'll mention.
Yes.
So that is this thing, but their themes are very broad. I mean, uh, particularly Yangchen and Karma are doing a lot of work on the self and the problems of the self. You
Mm-hmm.
know. So Yumita Rai is also a poet, and she's already published a book.
Mm-hmm.
These two other ladies have not published their book so far, but Yumita has published a book, and it's a wonderful book. So that is there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Poetry, I do not think can be very localized. I mean, if you read
Is it in Nepali or is it in English or
no
what?
English,
Okay.
English,
Mm.
English. But Kishan Dahal has started a very interesting experiment.
Uh-huh.
He has started coming out. He has been coming out with an annual compendium of poetry in any language. It's
Oh.
a book. It's an anthology in which you
Uh-huh.
can write in German, French, Nepali, Bhutani, whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
that I think is a very good, very positive experiment. And I want to see where it is going. That's it.
Are they ever thinking of? I mean, besides one Sikkim University and one Sikkim Manipal College, Sikkim Manipal Institute, which is
Mm.
well known now. Are the institutes coming up in Gangtok or in around Gangtok, outside Gangtok, uh,
Mhm.
Because
No, there are, I think, about 3 or 4 universities now, most of them private.
mhm,
And the Sikkim University is a state university in the sense it's established by a law of the parliament.
mhm,
And Sikkim University is doing a lot of good. I know people like Sange Dikila and other historians who are doing excellent work.
mhm,
And Sikkim University started with very faltered steps. You
mhm,
know, a lot of local politics, this and that. But now it is doing so well. Now it is doing really well. Then you have the NIT, National Institute of Technology, which is in Ravangla, South Sikkim.
mhm.
They are doing a lot of good work.
Engineering. Is it engineering or is it?
Engineering, technology
Yes,
college.
yes. Mhm,
And then Sikkim Law University is there,
mhm,
which is again doing a lot of good work. And a lot of people from the Law University are looking to fill in the positions of judges in the Sikkim judiciary.
Where do you
You
have
know,
the courts in
we
High
have
Court?
courts in all the districts. We
Okay.
have courts in all the. Now there
And
are
the
more.
high,
Earlier,
high
when I went, it was just 4 districts.
uh-huh,
Now, northwest, southeast.
uh-huh.
But now there are separate districts also, more than one district. So
Where is the High Court? In Gangtok?
we have high courts in Gangtok.
Okay. But Gangtok is a very small place. I mean, is it built on the ridge or where? It must be somewhere.
Gangtok, it's all over. No, there's only one piece of flat land really. That is the
Uh,
what we call the MG Marg,
uh,
and which I think is wrong. I think it should be called the Chogyal Marg or something because Mahatma Gandhi never had anything to do with Sikkim.
uh-huh.
Anyway, but then the thing is that um, that is the best suitable flat land,
Mhm,
and the other one is very down south, where in Rangpo, where a lot of sporting activities go on. Otherwise,
mhm.
it's just climbing up and down,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So just and right up to Nathula, you just keep on climbing.
Mm,
So you cannot say flat land, but travel is not difficult.
yeah, yeah.
The Sikkim Nationalized Transport System
Uh-huh,
that is modernized. It
uh-huh,
has taken about a lot of good turns.
uh-huh.
So it's good. It's good. I mean, it's not like, you have to walk for miles and days to get over to the court or something
No,
like
no, 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 no. It's not
that.
like that now anymore. And the Nepalese are very practical. I mean, the Sikkimese are extremely practical. Now, what work is the Chogyar doing? Is he living a retired life, or is he still sort of aware of the political activities going around in his
No,
state,
the
or
the
is he just taking a laid back? Does he ever
the
come out? Does he ever socialize?
the the, the
Mm-hmm,
last coronated Chogyal, he died in 1981,
mm-hmm,
and now the people of Sikkim still recognize one of his sons as the Chogyal.
mm-hmm,
He is a very, very dedicated Lama, and he is mostly into largely reforming the Lamaist activities and the monastic system. And he's interested in that. Otherwise, most of the time, he would be praying in some gufa, in a cave somewhere. Either mostly he's in Nepal. I'm told that he's in Nepal. I've never met him, but
in
so
Kathmandu or in
no,
Andhra?
in the hills. No, and they do not really stay in the because he is not into politicking or publicity or
Ha,
something
ha,
like
ha, ha, ha.
that. Mm.
So
So
he's somewhere in Nepal.
largely he is in Nepal. He obviously has a palace over here, and Chugla Khang Palace is there.
Uh,
And
now that must have become a museum now.
part of it is a museum. Part of it, when he comes here, he stays there.
Uh,
And then what was actually the annual festival of Sikkim, the Panglopsal dance.
Losar. No.
Panglopsal.
Okay.
Panglhabsol. Panglopsal is a dance where the Bhutias and Lepchas had sworn themselves into blood brotherhood
Uh,
for perpetuity.
okay.
And that was before the foundation of the empire, you know. And So, and they had kept Kanchenjunga, which is for us, and I'm saying us very deliberately, for us, Kanchenjunga is not a mountain.
Uh, for them, it's a sleeping Buddha, reclining Buddha.
No, it's not just that. It is a he who is supposed to protect Sikkim as Beul Demajong, as a
Uh-huh.
secret hidden land
Uh-huh.
from all intruders.
Yeah.
So the promise that was made between the Bhutias and Lepchas, Kanchenjunga was made witness to that.
Uh,
And every year, Panglopsal festival is a warrior dance, fantastic warrior dance,
uh-huh.
which takes place largely many places, but largely in two places. One is the Pemangsi Monastery, and is the other is the Chuglakang Palace. And these dances of Sikkim are absolutely mesmeric. I mean, I can invite
I
any of
think
you
it,
to
I
come
think in your
anytime.
next video you must give us a jhalak, give us a glimpse of these. I think
Dances.
yes, dances, few of these. Maybe when you come again, huh? But now we've got about 8 minutes, so
Hmm.
I would like you to sum up on all your experiences and a small message to all of us in the North India. The Northerners who are not aware of what Sikkim is and what the people are like. What is the? I mean, there are no flights there. The nearest airport is
No, there are
Pakistan.
flights, but the weather varies. We've got a modern airport in Pakyong,
Okay,
a place called Pakyong, which is about say 10 kilometers from Gangtok town.
okay,
But
okay.
the weather in mountains,
Uh-huh.
there's a bad joke about there's a bad joke about mountains, which
Mhm.
is all over. I mean, you go to Nagaland, you go to Meghalaya, anywhere, they'll say the wine, women, and weather are not predictable in the hills. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
So the weather is very
It's,
unpredictable. So
it's not
sometimes
not only the hills, maybe down below also.
no, but if you want me to say anything, I would love people to come and
Uh,
spend time in Sikkim, especially during the dances.
mm,
I myself did a film called The Lama Dancers of Sikkim, which actually won the Rajat Kamal in 2007, 2006 or 2007. It's on these dances, on these three major dances.
uh,
So I can share with you the video, and it's wonderful, really.
yeah, but see, mainly thing is now because Ladakh is given preference, and because that's where they show the red eyes. Huh? Sikkim, they also had some kind of altercation, huh? And it's next to Bhutan also. Hmm?
Hmm.
So Bhutanese again are very different from the Sikkimese. Maybe
Hmm.
they practice the same culture because I've been to Bhutan also,
Hmm.
and the dresses are more or less the same. The men dress in the same manner, but I flora, fauna, and the natural
Ali
beauty.
bhai, can I interject, please?
जी जी बोलिए.
Just read out
हाँ,
the impromptu question round.
okay, okay,
There are
okay,
hardly any points,
okay.
and Sujit Dada is aware what is it that we will try to cover in the impromptu round.
Uh-huh.
So
Hey, Dada, the thing is,
one by one, just take it up.
okay,
That is going to be the
clincher.
absolute sweet ending.
Okay. So, Dada, I just want to ask you the last round. What is your favorite way to spend a weekend?
My weekend. Uh, I mean, to be very honest, I don't have a weekend because most often I'm writing at home. So weekend would for me perhaps mean a good dish of nihari and biryani.
Okay. Then, what do you do for a living? What do you enjoy do for a living? Writing?
Writing.
Okay.
Primarily writing and editing. I edit a lot of books from India, Bhutan, and the
Yeah.
West.
Are you a morning person or a night bird?
Oh, I was an owl. I was an owl. I
Uh,
used to go to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning.
uh, uh,
No, but now I have changed because of the necessities of producing certain things for certain people at a given point in time. So I have a deadline to keep. So now I work till about 12, then go to sleep. I wake up at 4 o'clock. So I'm I'm an owl who's a lark.
Okay. Now, what is your dream job? What is your dream job?
My dream job,
Uh.
writing a book on Ishe Sogyal. Ishe Sogyal is the most important concert of Guru Padma Sambhava.
Is she alive?
No. That was in 800 AD.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any pets?
Do I have?
Pets, P-E-T-S, pets. A dog, a cat, a parrot.
No, I don't have pets.
Okay.
I would love to have a dog, but then
What's your
we live in a
favorite type
small
of
house.
cuisine? What's your favorite type of cuisine?
Favorite?
Type of cuisine, food. Cuisine.
Both.
Q-U-I-S-I-N-E. Food.
Cuisine,
Yes.
absolute Bengali and Mughlai. And Rajiv knows about it.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister, and she's in Calcutta,
Hmm.
and she is a wonderful chef and very, very fine person.
Do you miss the life in Calcutta compared to the life in this in the north?
If I say it, people will chase me out of Delhi.
No, they nobody chase you out.
No, but I don't think Delhi is a habitable place. It's not made up of largely the majority of Delhiites are not very, very civilized. I cannot say that. And it's a beautiful city, architecturally, facility wise, nothing to beat. No, I've lived in Bombay also, I've lived in many other places. Nothing to beat Delhi. But यहाँ पे तो सड़क पे निकलते ही वहां बैन कर लेंगे स्ट्रेट गर्दन पकड़ के वहां बैन कर लेंगे पीट देंगे मार देंगे दिस इज नो कल्चर एंड आई कैन tell you that a lot of us do not want our children to be brought up in Delhi.
But you've got to teach your children to be tough. How many children do you have, sir?
How many?
How many children? Children.
I have one.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, one.
She's in class 11. She's a fantastic in drawing and singing.
Uh-huh.
And she's also fantastic in pestering me. That's a different thing.
She's a computer whiz, I can see.
Yeah.
So all I can do is I can thank you for your time and for your, interesting talk on Sikkim and the Sikkim state. But I mean, I wish you luck, and I do wish that you can go back again and start working there whenever you have the.
No, I'll do that. I also it was a fantastic boon on my birthday. And I thank you and Rajiv and the Shana family for this interview. I think we had I didn't realize we passed an hour. Thank you so much.
No, you're most welcome. And let's hope we can meet again.
Right.
Keep up the rapport, keep up the connection.
Sure.
And
I'll
again,